Hi everyone, welcome to the self-love series with Estate Abatori. We have our fellow self-supporter right here. Her name is Shrumi. I really like that word, Shrumi. Anyways, as you can see, she's a bunny, but she also looks like a mushroom, so she's adorbs. Welcome her, welcome her. Anyways, so I haven't done one of these in a little while. It's been so nice. I really hope you enjoyed the first episode of What Does Self-Love Mean to You? You might be wondering, well, Grace, what is the second episode? It is you versus not you. And you might be wondering what that entails, but as long as you stick for the ride, you'll go ahead and see what it entails. Anyways, a little backstory real quick, as I love to do these, but I did do a massage this morning. It felt absolutely amazing. 10 out of 10 recommend. Please try it. This time I did a lymphatic drainage massage, as I've been having some weird circulation in my feet because I've been standing so much, or sitting down a lot, and so those are both breaking it. And so like the middle ground of laying down as well is very important, and actually resting, but yeah, so let's go ahead and have a moment of silence. Well, actually, I don't call it a moment of silence because what are we, pledging to the flag? No, I call it a moment of presence. What do you hear? What do you feel? What are you thinking? I, for one, hear the slight sound of my refrigerator going, but outside of that, it's complete silence. My mind is actually empty right now. No thoughts running through it. I feel the relief in my body, but still something stuck in my mid-back. I'm noticing my breathing, how it's flowing more easier than normal. Please feel free to pause at that moment and kind of take a time to notice how you're feeling, what the world around you is saying, or maybe your thoughts as well. So let's get into it. So, you versus not you. This is going to be the self-love part of your mind. Your thoughts. Thoughts are very, and I mean very, important in the way that we go about life because they are consistently there. You might think, well, oh, I don't hear my thoughts right now, but it's because you're thinking about it, so you're not really allowing yourself to listen to that subconscious that is still running in the background. So, what do I mean by you versus not you? One has to understand that the negative thoughts that we hear in our head, maybe those that are telling us that our body doesn't look good, our face is ugly, maybe even our freaking nose is shaped weird, we smell funky, or the way our personality is loud is horrible, or like you're too loud, you need to quiet down. All these things, all those thoughts where they kind of put you down are not your thoughts. It's not you telling you that. When you were born, you weren't thinking to yourself these things. You were just born. You literally had no thoughts empty. And then your parents raised you, or whoever raised you, because not everyone has parents, unfortunately. But whoever did raise you, instilled in you how to talk, how to read, how to even view things, religion, anything of that sort. And then next was your friends, the friends that you hung around with, the people you had to be around even if you didn't want to, like in terms of school, your siblings. All these things affected you growing up. And affected doesn't have to be a bad thing, it just affected you in general. So when you went ahead and grew up, those thoughts that maybe friends that weren't your friends were consistently telling you, you need to change this, you need to change that. Those thoughts weren't yours. You didn't think to yourself that. You were perfectly fine with how you looked, how you felt, how you went about life. And then these people added their thoughts and opinions into you, and to the point where they got stuck. And so you might be thinking, well, Grace, I hear it in my own voice. Well, of course you do, babes. It's your head. Unfortunately, it is your head that is telling you that, but it is not you who is telling you that. It's the thoughts of others. This can be seen or described rather easily in books. When you look at books, you'll kind of notice that books tend to have like those times, especially if you read angst books, and don't get me started on them those irritating things. You see it in the way that maybe a person who is stuck with their abusive husband continuously was told, like, you're not supposed to dress out like that, you're not supposed to look like that, don't talk like that, you have attitude, da 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 da. And it got to the point where you can see before she got into that relationship, or he, they, them, that they were fine. They were confident. They had a certain way about themselves. But as those time period, whether a month, whether 2 years, 5 years, kept going and going, that got stuck with them. And then after they left that relationship, it's still there. And some people don't acknowledge that how much others affected them. They don't acknowledge how much, like those things stuck with them. Because some people like to eradicate it, be like, I don't care, and this, that, and the third. But in some own way, it still hurt. And it's okay to acknowledge that hurt you. And it didn't hurt you because it's true, but it's because you truly didn't expect that to come from just to a foe. It doesn't, it never stems from a place where you truly believe it to be true, but from a place that when it's repeated so much, it sticks with you. When it's repeated so much, it hurts you. Even the first time it hurts, the second time it hurts a little less, the third time it doesn't hurt anymore, but it's still affecting you unconsciously. It's still running in the background, maybe in the way that you eat things now, maybe in the way that you look at yourself in the mirror, maybe in the way that you even take care of yourself, or in the way that you decide to work out just because you want to look like this girl or that guy or they, them, even though that's not how you actually feel. And so we like to change things a lot. You can see that in the way of cosmetic surgery, or even laser removal, microblading, any of these things. We change things. But at the end of the day, our bodies are ours, our minds are ours, our emotions are ours. And as we slowly learn to love ourselves, we allow ourselves to acknowledge those thoughts that are there and acknowledge that they are not ours. Because it's you versus not you. And so whenever you look at who you are not, you'll come to realize that those don't need to stick with you and you can let them go. It's not an easy process. None of this will ever be an easy process, but you'll come to love it and appreciate it and do it more and more because of how fulfilling it is to just be you, to be free. It gets rid of those burdens that you might feel on your shoulder, like people pleasing, or what was instilled in you when young to listen to your elders. And you should also know that as you do come into this self-love, self-respect, and self-worth, as you learn how to appreciate yourself and not allow others to dim that light, to dim you down, you'll end up realizing how much of an amazing person you are. And you'll also understand that being rude doesn't mean that you're respecting yourself. You don't need to be disrespectful or rude to anyone. If they're disrespecting you and they're being rude to you, they're insulting you, laugh in their face, babes. Why? Because they're just projecting onto you. They're telling you things that you know dang well are not true, and they expect you to be all sad. Ooh, for what? When in all honesty, I know who I am. I know what I do with my life. And even if I did do those things, so what? At least I'm enjoying myself and not being a negative Nancy to other people. Exactly. And so that's when you come to understand, like, the thoughts that are not yours don't need to stay with you. So, let's take a breather. I went on a walk today as well, but it was 101 degrees. I didn't know that. So I had to end it very quickly because I started getting a little bit of a heat exhaustion. I did not say that word right. But yeah, so you versus not you. It's a very interesting concept. I've come into recently. Recently, as in I've kind of known it in the background, but specifically saying those words and recognizing that those thoughts aren't mine definitely took a while to come into realization. But when I fully realized it, it just helped even more. So much. And so now I've been looking in the mirror and smiling at myself. I've been telling myself I'm beautiful. I've been telling myself that my eyes are so bright, my smile is so pretty, my body is so beautiful and gorgeous, gorgina. And so I hope that as you kind of understand that concept and come to the realization with it, and it's not going to be from this video fully, it's not going to just, be an immediate, click, but as it slowly settles in and you work through it and you work through it, you'll come to understand how beautiful it is and how much your life has improved from that realization snapping into place slowly but surely. And so I do ask for patience as you do so. I do ask you to have patience with yourself. It's very important that we don't try to rush things because everything has its divine timing. And because it has its divine timing, there is no reason to feel rushed. There's no reason to feel like you're running out of time or don't have enough time. There's no reason to feel like you need to fit so many things into one day, into 1 hour, just to feel present, to feel successful, because it's not how it's going to work, babes. It's actually going to come when you feel maybe a little sluggish, or maybe a little down, or maybe you're really super excited and everything and your mind is running a mile a minute because you have this that you want to do and this that you want to do. But it's okay, just take a breather, maybe do a little walk when you are excited to get some of that energy out, and take the time to just breathe, take in the presence, and utilize that patience. Just know that you don't have to have everything figured out, no matter your age. But yeah, so you versus not you. I was talking to myself about this the other day, and I guess we could kind of go into the vulnerable part of this for myself. And I've talked about this in the last episode, I was a very adventurous kid. I was always a kid who was very extroverted in a unique way. People like to say, well, I'm very extroverted with my friends, but those that I'm not close to, I tend to be closed off. But it was more so, I could always tell energy. I could always tell energy from the start to the end of those that, yes, I could talk to you easily, but I couldn't get comfortable with you fully and like be in your energy for a while because it just didn't click, but I could talk to you super well. And then there was those that I just wanted in my life genuinely, and they stayed, they stayed or they left when we kind of outgrew each other, but that's completely normal. People are consistently evolving, and because they're consistently evolving, sorry, I had to check my battery's dying, so I'll make this a little bit quick. But yes, those energies, but I was always a very extroverted friend, an extroverted person. I was always talking to people. I sang in front of people, all this great stuff. And so it's funny enough, as I grew up, I was a big child. I have stated this before, and I didn't care. I had eczema in places it shouldn't be, like right here, so it made me look like I had a mustache, and here. I was always outside, so it was dark as because I never used sunscreen or lotion. Honestly, I was a very ashy child. I was kind of like the class clown, but never like the class. You know what I mean? Like just clowning on, bro. I was just clowning, bro. But it's because I always love to laugh. I love to bring joy to the people around me. I love to entertain, but not at the expense of myself. But sometimes it ended up being that way because people pleasing slowly crept in. And so because of that, I was also raised with boys, and so to me, being tough on people and sometimes like laughing at things that maybe you shouldn't laugh was also very present in my life, and I don't try to not do that anymore. I don't do it, but sometimes I feel like it sneaks in, especially when maybe I'm not in the best of moods. But we're working on it. And so I say all this to say is that as much as I was a child like that, it was really just my family members who slowly crept in thoughts of, you're really fat, Grace, you need to lose weight. you have these rolls on your back, they're hard to lose, make sure you don't gain any more. You need to work on your eczema, it's getting really bad. Or, like, I was even told once, are you sure you want to put barbecue with your fries? Because, barbecue has a lot of calories or something like that. Like, you'll gain weight from it, basically. Barbecue sauce. I won't tell you who told me that specifically, but it was definitely a close family member. And to this day, every time I think about that, I'm like, where did this come from? You know what I mean? Like, it was like literally like the most randomest time that he had stated that. But yeah, and thankfully somebody stood up for me at that moment. It was so nice to have that because it really wasn't common in my family. But yeah, so from there, like, as these little things came about and then the people around me lost weight as well, I didn't. Or maybe like they commented on me. Sometimes I was actually made fun of by cousins or quote unquote and all that good stuff, my brothers and all that stuff. And so I just had to learn how to get out of that without people who could help me, being African, people didn't really believe in mental health issues and what do you call it? And in helping, not helping, but getting help for your child. And I was also a very quiet child at times. Like, I wouldn't speak on the matter of how I was feeling. And so I just cry silently by myself in my room as a child, and that's not a very good thing to do, especially because I was always at odds with one of my family members because I didn't clean well, because I kept my room dirty, my space dirty, because that's how my mind was. And so lots of things happened, curiosity happened, life evolved, and slowly but surely I started feeling like I had to look a certain way to be accepted by people. That's going away, but it's been with me for so long that it's not, gone fully. But we're working on it so much, and it's been such a joy, as you can see on my face, to slowly work on those shadow aspects of my life. And so I say all this to say is that I didn't think like that from the beginning. It slowly etched its way into my life. And when you look for the validation of your family members, the praise, when you look to be accepted by others, you kind of can allow that to go in and affect you and end up changing how you go about your life. And it's up to you and only you to want to be able to change that, to want to be able to completely take that out of your mindset, because you can go to therapy, you can talk to people, but if you don't want to, if you don't want to accept that change, if you don't want to do that change, it's not gonna happen. You're gonna have relapses, you're gonna have maybe even moments where it's even worse, even though it's better, and this and the third. So that's all I ask of you to do, is have patience and to be willing to want to let go of those thoughts that are not yours, that are not you. Because you're absolutely beautiful, you're absolutely handsome, gorgeous, you're absolutely elation. And I need you to look up that word, ELAYSIAN, elation. You're absolutely you. And I love that about you. And I hope that as you watch these episodes and go through this series, that you slowly evolve to wanting to self-improve, wanting to love yourself. And as you do so, it's going to be so beautiful to see you bloom. I'm super excited. I'm literally like, woo, to have y'all join this journey with me. I've been doing it for years, but to get to this point, especially, it has been a very big struggle in my life, especially when you still have those that were causing it in the first place around you. But I've come to love and understand myself, and I'm very grateful for the process of it. I have no regrets for how I've gone about my life, and I hope you don't either. Regrets won't do anything, regrets won't change anything. So once you come to accept those things that you regret, unfortunately, you'll see why it happened and how to get past it. Homework for today will be to do a mirror exercise, actually, if you'd like, whether a mirror exercise or a journaling prompt. But I do ask of yourself to look at yourself in the mirror or to go inwards as you write and to really kind of talk to yourself and tell yourself, one, how beautiful you are, two, write an affirmation or say an affirmation out loud to yourself, and three, forgive yourself. Acknowledge yourself, your emotions, and tell yourself that it is okay, that I am amazing, I am doing great, and it is perfectly, and I mean perfectly okay to be who I am. That your thoughts, these thoughts that room in my head are not mine, and that no matter what, I love myself, that it is okay to struggle, that I am willing to have patience with myself, and that I let go of all who have caused harm to me, and I allow forgiveness, peace, and happiness to flow into my life. I hope you do this for 5 days straight and kind of make it into a habit. And you can change up the words the way you want to go about it. Maybe certain days you're feeling a certain thing. Go ahead and address that and acknowledge it. Observe and absorb. Observe and don't absorb what you don't need to. And also, while doing so, I do recommend stretching as well, moving the body. It's just going to help you kind of flow everything through, and allow yourself to really hug yourself. Go ahead and slowly bring out your hands. You can bring them wide or you can bring them up, and then go ahead and curl them around you and go ahead and give yourself a warm hug. Shake a little bit, pat your arms as if somebody was patting you to sleep. If you can reach your back, that would be great as well, but it's not a must. And as you go ahead and enjoy that time period of just truly allowing yourself to sit in presence and silence and to breathe, smile and know that you are loved. Not just because I love you, not because those around you love you, but because you do as well. And as you slowly make your way to loving yourself fully without questioning it, without denying it, you'll feel that need that you're looking for. Let me close this off. Oh,